The heavy wind may hit us, but it's keeling over quite a bit. We'll be making our arrival after sunrise in 30 knots of wind. According to this forecast, we just make it. Nighttime arrival plus strong wind, worst case scenario. Wish us luck.
The following takes place between 0700 hours on September 19th and 10:30 hours on September 20th. Events occur in real time.
Pretty. Yeah, that's just a village farm. So that's what the wind is doing right now. It's kind of sitting on a beam, but at times we get brought up to being closer to being on a close reach. So that's grand. A couple of waves over the boat. It's doing fine. So just keep an eye that everything's not getting pushed too hard. There you go.
Yeah.
What speed are we doing now?
Did our speed come down?
Yeah, we kind of
Just a little bit.
yeah, not by a huge amount now. Like we're not hitting 8 knots as frequently, but it's definitely between 5 and 6 steady.
Never use fuel. If we were sailing like this, it feels so weird. Well, we need to stay ahead of that thing, so.
being more on the nose to being more of a beam reach. So all I did was just sheet it in the main a little bit and it stopped it from flagging. So Craig's just after getting up for his watch now. We do the handover. He's just going to get himself a coffee. We're averaging 7 knots, 7.2, an estimation time of 22, 23 hours, but I'd say maybe add a few just for if it thinks we're going faster than we are. We're first reef in the main and the full jib out, and we're on a beam reach at the moment, so it's kind of pushing more to the nose.
Hours, Tuesday the 19th. We are in 15 to 20 knot winds with a single reef in the main and a full jib out and the engine running. We're trying to do everything we can to get maximum speed because sometime in the morning winds will increase to 25 knots, gusting higher, and by that point we will still have 100 nautical miles to go to get to Dijon, our destination. We're anticipating having to motor sail on a beam reach in winds of 25 knots and above for about 100 miles starting tomorrow morning. I'm not sure what the wind increase will do to our speed. I hope it doesn't slow us down too much, because we are really racing to get to Dijon as fast as possible to stay ahead of a very large area of much stronger wind that is behind us, increasing in strength and size, and we don't want it to engulf us. We want to get to Dijon before that. There does appear to be a little bubble of calm wind over the marina early tomorrow morning before it then gets windy there as well. We're hoping that that part of the forecast stays accurate and that we arrive there in time for that bubble of calm, but you know, it all depends on our speed, so we're hoping, I don't know, 100 nautical miles and winds of 25 knots plus on a beam reach. See how we do during that. We're going to reef everything down and push the engine hard. That's our watch alarm. It goes off every 12 minutes just to make sure nobody's falling asleep. Hope we get there in time. That's a report.
After 6 p.m. on Tuesday, the ETA is looking to maybe a big 20 hours-ish. We're just still pushing and pushing to try and beat this big weather that's coming in. So we're doing above 7 knots always. A little bouncy, but wave direction is good. It's coming off of our starboard stern, so we're kind of surfing when we're coming down, which is nice. We'll have some increase in wind overnight. Up to 25 knots, maybe 30 knots. We're just getting a good rest now today because we know there's going to be big weather tonight. So we'll just hit 11 knots. Reminded a little bit of Star Wars with your sunset going down in the background. One day you'll get off this though.
Enjoyed the Resistance, Empire, reef at midnight. So like in 4 hours. Why don't you go rest up?
Yeah, I'll have a good sleep now.
About 3 hours, things will get bouncy, so get to sleep now while you can.
Will do. Yeah, that's my job.
Hey, Dre.
Beautiful morning. Look at that sky. I brought in the head sail a little bit. Look how tight it is wrapped around the head stay. Fast, tight. You can hear the wind howling. Boy, am I glad I put that double reef in last night. Sure wouldn't want to do it right now. Better do it last night in the dark, get splashed a little bit, than do it in this wind. This is much stronger. I gotta get that wind speed instrument fixed so I can actually see how fast the wind is. All I can tell you is that it is windy. 44 miles to go. Yay! I don't know how I do it without the watch alarm. It is just one of the most important pieces of equipment on the boat as far as I'm concerned, because it ensures that I don't fall asleep. It ensures that I check the radar and everything else at regular intervals, in this case every 12 minutes. Kind of like this arrangement that I've come up with for a bunch of things, but also I've discovered that it comes in pretty handy for my tether as well. I've taken this long piece of line. It used to be the main halyard until it got a little old and frayed, and I replaced it with a new one. I've wrapped it around the supports for the cockpit enclosure, there to there to there to there, and then back up to here and there and all around, and works great when I'm lying here. I can just reach up and clip it right here, and that's also kind of cool because then I can kind of wrap my tether around my body, and if the boat heels over I can hold on to the tether and not get thrown into the cockpit. Or I can clip it here, and then I can be over here on the port side working this winch, and then just go over to the other side of the cockpit and work on that winch, the furling winch, and get around the cockpit. Yeah, I like it. Not standard, but Drake Paragon. We're making about steady 7 knots. And you know, with waves or whatever, every once in a while we're going up to 10. Means those miles are clicking by. 44 to go. Not used to having crew like you, man. This has scared the shit out of me. Now I'm awake. How are ya?
Great.
Yeah, good. Just downloading another weather report right now. The seas are kind of smoother, so it's not so bad. I'm so glad last night I put that second reef back in, yeah, or else I hate to do it in this wind. Yeah. When the boat's heeling over, there's only one place to be in the cockpit, like on the leeward side. Yeah. I don't know if you want to stay in bed or I think I'm going to stay up till we arrive. So you can sit over here if you want. Or
Okay, no, I said it pop up because I know you've been up a while.
Yeah, no.
If you want, I've carried my stuff in my berth. If you want to lie down there, or
nah, especially with the wind just coming up like this, I think I'm probably gonna put some waiting for the next 10 minutes for the weather to come in. But I can't touch it because it'll screw up the weather download. But I think we're like 40 miles left. I got an email from Hazel. She said that the marina has become really uncomfortable.
This is the marina that I've been staying in, and it may not actually look like it now, but last night was pretty swelly. Like, there's no wind, but obviously it's quite windy out at sea, so the swell is coming in here, and so it's pretty rolly. I'm actually seriously considering going to the other marina that it's like 1 mile from here, in Gijón as well, or Gijón, but it's supposed to be protected from the northwest.
And she thinks that with the incoming weather, it's going to be even worse. So she's thinking about leaving and going to the other of the two marinas, which is part of the west. Will probably be more sheltered.
Sorry for giving you a fright.
He came up and I screamed like a little baby. I was like, ah!
My jaw down. It's scaring you.
That's beautiful sun. Just gorgeous. Yeah, we'll be there soon, man. Thank you for everything. Really appreciate it.
There was once or twice last night where I was kind of going, oh, it says windy up there.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, when I go up and I go, no, it's obviously busy. He needs to get a shout. So, but
We started getting waves hitting the enclosure. And I was like, oh, okay, it's time to put that reef in. And then I was watching the waves hit the deck like every few seconds. I was like, oh, I don't want to get soaked. Let's make this fast. And I ran out there as fast as I could, but I still got splashed. I should probably throw the rest of that in and put the spaceal out. Some people say you don't need a winch to bring in the head sail. There's just so much tension there when it gets this windy. There's no way you could just pull that line in by hand. No way. Yet people still say, no, you should be able to do it. I do it on my 40-footer. Well, I just don't see it. Maybe they only do it on their 40-footers and 5 knots of wind. I'll leave it there for a while. That's cool. Yeah, I'm gonna take a shower. Okay, weather's done. The big monster has descended upon us. The little bubble is disappearing. Yeah, that's us right now. That wind is just hitting us. Running the engine was a good call. If we hadn't run the engine,
we'd be out in the middle of
we'd
this.
be here.
Yeah.
It would be windier than this and it would suck. But we ran the engine for 2 days and that put us just on the very, very edge of this. We're almost there.
Great.
37 miles to go to the entrance to the harbor.
Yeah. The staysail's shaking like that, but there's nothing I can do about it. I've cheated it in as tight as I can get it. I gotta ask somebody who knows more about it than me. I can't get that vibration out. I don't understand it. That I built here for holding the hardtop up are awesome for holding on to. Or you can sit here and put your back up against it. You really can't imagine
open, and you can just like lean over and